So Heidi, take us through some of those proposals.
Yes, Shahan, so it's important to emphasize the fact that this is a draft document that was presented by the business rescue practitioners to National Treasury, and basically they point out about 4 different scenarios. Let's just have a look at those. The first one is SAA restructured version 1 as well as version 2. We're also seeing Mango only and SAA closure, and then we're looking at the unfortunate of liquidation. If we could perhaps just pull up the first slide of SAA restructured version 1, which speaks to what this will basically entail. If we just see over there, you're actually seeing the business rescue practitioners saying that whatever they can save, they will try and save. SAA flies profitable long-haul and regional routes only. We're actually seeing that now, where SAA is saying that they can only fly certain routes. They've cancelled most of their domestic flights. Maintain some branding flights, which I think is also quite important, and then retain only 40% of staff. SAA has been speaking for months now how they are going to be cutting down staff, and they of course are going to need a cash funding of 7.7 billion rand and future funding of between 4.1 and 6.9 billion rand. So more money that taxpayers are going to have to fork out for SAA. If we move over to the next scenario, which is SAA restructured version 2, which is a little bit different, where they're saying that all unprofitable flights will be stopped. And Shahan, this is something we're already seeing, because most domestic flights have been cancelled, with some flights still operating going to Cape Town, from Cape Town to Johannesburg. Retain 32% of staff, which is going to be concerning for those unions, which they are still trying to fight in court at the moment, to have SAA business rescue practitioners consult workers before they retrench. Cash funding of 7.7 billion. Again, they are going to need more funding, and potential future funding between 4 billion and 6.6 billion. So version 1 and version 2 aren't very different. It's basically just the staff difference that we are seeing. And then this one that I found quite shocking was the Mango only and SAA closure. Now, essentially what they are saying here is that because when the strike happened in December of last year, Mango was able to pick up most of the domestic flights for SAA, and they are saying that they will be able to develop that route where Mango will take over. And in order for Mango to do so, they are going to have to pick up some of SAA's aircraft and some of their fleet to be able to sustain all those flights and the traffic coming through. But Mango is also going to need some of our money, 5.9 billion cash funding. And then future funding is only between 1.2 and 1.8. And then there will be a full retrenchment process of SAA. They'll only be able to save 1,300 jobs, and that will obviously be some of the aircraft staff and so forth that will then move over to Mango. And, you know, fortunate enough, if they do implement this scenario, staff will receive 3 months' salary and retrenchment packages.
Yeah.
If we move over to the last scenario, which we really do hope this doesn't happen, because it will have severe consequences and ripple effects for the economy. It's complete closure of SAA, full retrenchment of entire ground, affecting 8,900 jobs. And unfortunately, they will not be funded. The retrenchment process will not be funded, and we'll be seeing those thousands left out on the street. And then there will be a possible risk of sovereign credit rating. Now, it's important to note, Shahan, that this is a draft proposal. It's not official. It's not set in stone. And something else to note is the fact that government has promised 16.9 billion rand to SAA in this last budget speech that we saw. And that probably means why they have been able to extend the proposed plan to government for the next month. They'll only need to submit that at the end of March. So these are just some of the scenarios which paint a picture of what the business practitioners have in their hands and what they're able to work with.
Yeah, so of course, once they get that money from government, they'll be in a better position than they are currently. We'll leave it right there. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Our business reporter, Heidi Jokos.